Imagine you're sailing through the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The sea is calm, the sky is clear, and nothing seems unusual. Then suddenly, something massive moves beneath your ship. Not a whale, not a shark, something so enormous that it makes your vessel look like a paint floating on the surface of the water. For thousands of years, sailors, explorers, and ancient civilizations have told stories about gigantic sea monsters lurking beneath the oceans. Among all these creatures, one name stands above the rest: Leviathan. A legendary beast said to be so powerful that entire civilizations feared its awakening. But what exactly is Leviathan? Is it merely a myth created to explain the dangers of the sea? Or could there be a grain of truth hidden within these ancient stories? Today we are diving deep into one of the greatest mysteries ever told, exploring the history, mythology, science, and terrifying possibilities surrounding the legendary Leviathan. The story of Leviathan stretches back thousands of years. Long before modern science existed, people looked at the ocean with fear and wonder. The sea was unpredictable, dangerous, and largely unexplored. Ancient sailors often disappeared without a trace, and when storms destroyed ships, people searched for explanations. One of the most famous descriptions of Leviathan comes from ancient biblical texts. There, Leviathan is portrayed as a gigantic sea serpent, unlike anything known to mankind. Its scales were said to be impenetrable, its strength unmatched, and its presence alone capable of spreading terror. Some descriptions even suggest that Leviathan could breathe fire and create chaos wherever it traveled. To ancient civilizations, Leviathan was more than just an animal. It represented a force of nature, a symbol of chaos that no human could control. What's even more fascinating is that Leviathan is not the only giant sea monster found in ancient mythology. Across the world, different cultures told remarkably similar stories. In Mesopotamian mythology, there was Tiamat, a monstrous sea dragon associated with destruction and chaos. In Norse mythology, there was Jormungandr, a colossal serpent so large that it could encircle the entire world. Ancient Hindu texts describe gigantic sea creatures and cosmic serpents living within the vast oceans of creation. Islamic traditions speak of Bahamut, an unimaginably large creature that exists beneath the world itself. The similarities between these legends are difficult to ignore. Different civilizations, separated by vast distances and centuries of history, all described enormous creatures living beneath the sea. Was this simply coincidence, or were these stories inspired by something real? To understand why such legends became so widespread, we need to look at the ocean itself. More than 70% of Earth's surface is covered by water, yet the vast majority of the ocean remains unexplored. Scientists estimate that over 80% of the deep ocean has never been fully mapped or studied. Hidden beneath miles of darkness are underwater mountains, trenches deeper than Mount Everest is tall, and ecosystems unlike anything found on land. Creatures living in these depths have evolved in complete darkness, developing bizarre appearances that often seem alien. Some fish produce their own light. Others have transparent bodies or enormous jaws filled with needle-like teeth. Every year, scientists discover species that nobody knew existed. This raises an intriguing question. If so much of the ocean remains unknown, could there still be giant creatures waiting to be discovered? History provides several examples of creatures that were once considered myths but later turned out to be real. For centuries, sailors told stories about giant squids attacking ships in the darkness of the sea. Scientists dismissed these stories as exaggerations and legends. Then, in 2004, researchers successfully photographed a living giant squid in its natural habitat for the first time. Suddenly, a creature that had existed only in myths and sailor stories became a scientific reality. Similar discoveries have happened many times throughout history. Animals once thought impossible have repeatedly emerged from the unknown corners of the planet, forcing scientists to rethink what is possible. However, when it comes to Leviathan, things become more complicated. The creature described in ancient texts is far larger than any known animal on Earth. Some legends portray it as being several kilometers long, capable of destroying entire ships with ease. From a scientific perspective, such a creature would face enormous challenges. It would require vast amounts of food to survive. It would leave behind evidence such as carcasses, bones, tracks, or sonar readings. Modern oceans are constantly monitored by satellites, submarines, commercial vessels, and scientific expeditions. A creature of such immense size would be extremely difficult to hide. This is why most scientists believe that a literal Leviathan, as described in mythology, probably does not exist. But that doesn't mean the story ends there. Many myths begin with a small piece of truth. Ancient sailors may have encountered giant whales, enormous squids, or other unusual creatures that they could not understand. Over time, these encounters were passed down through generations, becoming larger and more dramatic with every retelling. What started as a real animal could eventually transform into a monster capable of ending the world. This process has happened throughout human history and explains why so many legends contain elements of reality mixed with imagination. There is also another reason why the Leviathan legend remains so powerful today. Human beings are naturally fascinated by the unknown. We are drawn toward mysteries that challenge our understanding of reality. The idea that something gigantic might still be hiding beneath the ocean taps directly into one of humanity's oldest fears, the fear of what lies beyond our sight. Even with all our technology, there are places in the deep sea that remain untouched and unseen. Darkness stretches for miles beneath the surface, hiding landscapes and creatures that few people will ever witness. So, is Leviathan real? Based on everything we currently know, there is no scientific evidence proving the existence of a giant biblical sea monster. The legendary creature described in ancient texts most likely belongs to the world of mythology rather than reality. Yet the mystery itself remains fascinating because it reminds us how little we truly know about our oceans. Every year brings new discoveries, new species, and new questions. While Leviathan may never rise from the depths, the ocean still holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered. And perhaps that is the most unsettling truth of all. The greatest monster in the ocean may not be Leviathan itself. It may be the vast unknown darkness beneath the waves, a place so mysterious that even today, humanity has explored only a fraction of what lies below.